Hey guys, Chris here from Kite Republic. We're catching up today with big wave frother, current world kitesurf tour leader, local Melbourne boy, Mr. James Carew. Let's get him on the line. James, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. I'm good. All is good.
Excellent to hear. So absolutely stoked to find out your view on the kite that the past 4 wave world champions have been on, current top 5 riders in the world are riding. A really fun Freeride, wave, all-round kite, and also the kite we use as our main kite in the school. Just has characteristics that work crazily everywhere. From your perspective, the Neo, why does it work so well for you?
So the Neo, it's everything that I need put into one kite, and it works perfectly. And it's like a wave kite that mistakenly has awesome strapless freestyle and is super powerful and really quick.
What is it about the Neo that makes it such a good wave kite? Like, is it the drifting? Is it the power? What are those bits that just make it work?
So, let's give you an example. The other day I went for a little wave session and it was super light. It was kind of the end of the day. The wind was dropping, but I had my 10, so I went out on my 10. That was all I had. And the wind was definitely like lighter than I would have thought, but I was super powered. And it was kind of onshore, and the kite was drifting. Like, made it so fun. Even with the light wind, it didn't matter. It still had heaps of power. It was pulling me to all the sections I needed. And at times there are a couple turns I did, and the kite was above my head, falling out of the sky, but it only fell to where it should have been, and then I kept riding. So it really did everything it was supposed to. It did everything I needed to do.
Yeah.
And it really allowed me to have fun.
Nice one. And so I guess for those people that are relatively new and thinking about kites coming into it, obviously the drifting, tends to be set up by being a bit deeper in the window. So the kite is sitting back a bit further. So when you ride at it, it doesn't want to just shoot up over your head and start falling. It sort of just stays out there. So, as a beginner as well, in something a little bit gusty or those lighter days, it's the same thing. That confidence you have from it sitting back and just being there always. It's so nice.
Yeah, and in those gusty days, like you said, and the really bad wind days that maybe it's super windy and it's really gusty, it's a really nice feel. It doesn't pop too much or yank you really hard. It's really nice. And if it does manage to drop a little bit, it doesn't drop too far. It drops, and then it won't do the big pop and pull your back out when it comes back up. It'll kind of like just catch the wind and float up to the top again.
Always a bonus. And now the Neo comes with 2 settings, with a front pigtail change. Comes with the wave setting and the Freeride setting. Can you tell us, what are people going to feel differently if they change that from each setting?
So the wave setting is definitely going to drift more. It's going to be a little bit softer. It's not such a hard feel on the bar. If you do want to ride kind of in more wind or a bigger kite or anything, it does help, but you don't have to ride a bigger kite. It still has the power. It's going to drift a lot more and feel a lot more kind of surf orientated. Like, I think it's more of a style where you don't really move the kite so much. You kind of just put the kite there, let it do what it wants to do, and then you can do whatever you want to do. Whereas if you want to use the other setting, the harder setting, which is kind of more my style, you're going to have more bar pressure and you're going to feel more of the kite per se. If you're a person who wants to really move the kite a lot, it's probably better for you. Or maybe you want to ride a smaller kite, it's going to feel a little better because you'll be able to feel more of the kite and more of the bar and really feel completely in control.
Nice one. And in terms of, obviously, to me, more wave orientated will tend to mean kites sit a little bit deeper in the window. They drift a bit better in the rest, but you might lose a little bit of that upwind ability when you change it. Do you notice much difference between the wave and the Freeride setting in terms of upwind and efficiency?
No, not really. It's very minimal. I don't think that you're really going to notice it. I don't notice it. I think that it really depends on the wind conditions. If it's really windy, super windy and really nice waves, and you think you're going to be a little bit overpowered, I would definitely ride the wave setting, as you get much more drift and kind of really allows you to just do what you want to do.
Okay, perfect. And now, obviously, the Neo does have that free ride setting and the wave setting. As far as somebody that's not necessarily going to be looking at waves like that often, or if they are, they're not sort of in high-end wave rider, but looking at a free ride kite that's going to give them maybe easier jumps, give them a bit more hang time when they go, all of that. Would you say the Neo would still fit that bill well, or would you tend to lean towards maybe the Evo or Rebel, depending on the rider? What are your thoughts?
I think if you want an all-round kite and you do want to get into some waves but you want to have fun, you're not really looking to do too much performance, the Neo is still a great kite. I would recommend the Neo kind of 9 times out of 10. But I think if you're really into your jumps and you want to get more hang time and you want to kind of be really floaty, then the Evo and the Rebel is a really good choice, because I know myself, whenever I jump on a Neo or on a Rebel or an Evo, the hang time you get is just ridiculous. You have so much time in the air and you can really do what you want. The Neo is a little bit more radical in the air, sort of. If you want it to be, if you want to do kite loops and things like that, it's more radical. But they're both really fun free ride kites. They do exactly what you tell them to do. It's a hard decision. I think for more hang time, you definitely get a Rebel or an Evo. I think the really fun, playful kite for me, I would just say get a Neo.
Nice one. And now this one, I was actually I've somehow lost a page with a couple of questions on it before, but that's all good. Why do you ride the Neo for strapless freestyle over, say, a Dice or something that's more sort of freestyle based?
So I actually get asked this quite a bit, to be honest. My answer is the Neo for me feels like it does everything perfectly. I mean, sure, it doesn't have the hang time of a Rebel, maybe the looping ability of the Dice, but I think it has the best of both. So if you want to jump really high, you can. And if you want to loop like really low, you can also. So I think it's probably more to do with the bar feel and how the kite's set up. It feels really strong, and when you ride it overpowered like that, it's a really stiff, strong kite. So it feels really nice in the air, and the power distribution over the window is really nice. So I mean, for strapless freestyle, for me, it's pretty perfect.
Yeah, awesome. And I guess on the other side of the spectrum, obviously foiling's just taking off at the moment, and the Neo just has a ridiculous amount of characteristics that are so good for foiling as well. From your point of view, when you foil, are you on a Neo, a mono? Like what sort of kite are you riding?
So yeah, I'll probably be on a Neo, to be honest. It's perfect. I had to take one kite to the beach. I can do anything. Yeah, I mean, I like use a smaller Neo to foil, and it's awesome. The smaller Neos are so much fun. They're so quick and anywhere in the window, and you're not going to have any problems.
Yeah, I spent a fair bit of time on our school 4-meter Neo foiling over the last year or two. Good times.
It's perfect.
Nice. All right. So the Neo's been exceptional for a while, and obviously this year they've stepped things up quite enormously again. They've introduced the SLS, so the strong light superior technology to the Neo. What have you found? What's changed with the SLS?
It is crazy. Like, as I said the other day, that wave session was, like, the things that the kite was doing was just stupid. The drifting ability of the lighter kite is pretty ridiculous. Like it drifts kind of in times where you would think if it drifts, it's going to ruin the wave, but it kind of makes the wave, I really had the ability to do whatever I wanted. And when you're on the wave, it's exactly what you want. And for freestyle, it's also really, really good because the loops that the kite does, it's so quick and light. It catches itself really easy. Sometimes you want to do a jump and you send the kite forward or back because the kite's so light and so fast and kind of agile. It's so easy to do. It's crazy.
Doing the type of wave riding you're doing where you're attempting not to ride the kite that much unless you really have to, kites like the mono and things like that have been an option for people in that situation in the past, but without that top end and freestyle side. Is it getting closer to that in terms of feel, like just where there's nothing there when you're on it?
For sure, it definitely can be. Like I know a few guys that are riding the mono for wave riding. There's actually quite a few. But I think that this new Neo really is the go. if you set it up on the softer setting, and you're not going to feel it. It's like it's not there. It's crazy.
Yeah, perfect. And in terms of, I guess, the SLS technology as a whole in the kites, how's your tech side? Can you tell us exactly what has changed? Like how much of it do you talk about? Or
I couldn't tell you exactly how much has changed. I know it's like a 15% decrease in the weight.
Mhm.
I mean, I can tell you firsthand that the bridles are tiny, and the kite, you really feel it. If you pick the kite up, you feel how light it is.
By tiny, do you mean super thin, or has the bridle like?
Yeah, they're super thin.
Yeah.
And they're stronger, but they're super thin. So it's kind of one of the shocking things about it. You go and touch the bridle, and the bridles are super thin. You know, it's like, gee, is this gonna break? But no, it's actually stronger.
I'm kite looping 15 meters, 20 meters in the air on this. Are you sure?
Like, why do I have smaller bridles? But no, it is actually stronger.
Very nice. And just quickly to wrap up the Neo, what would you say are the one or two things that make it different to any other wave kite or kite that would be in that category that you might use?
I mean, it does everything. Like it's the perfect kite for everything. If you want to ride waves, then it's like a dream. But if you want to do strapless freestyle and be really powered, then it's also perfect. And then maybe you like foiling also, and you want a smaller kite for foiling, then it also works really well. I don't know what more you could ask for, to be honest.
Sounds pretty good to me. So, James Carew, thank you very much for joining us, and a massive good luck for the year ahead. I hope you get plenty of waves, plenty of wind, and hopefully we can start joining you on that chase again soon. But thank you for your time, mate.
Thank you.
Sorry, a little bit of a time delay there. What was that? Oh, I think he's frozen. But guys, if you would like any more information on the Neo, the SLS range, or any of the Duotone products, hit us up at kiterepublic.com.au. Cheers. See ya.